Spanning the majestic Irish Sea, linking the shores of Scotland and the shores of Northern Ireland, is something that the United Kingdom has been considering for a long time now. The proposed Irish Sea Bridge, a colossal infrastructure project of monumental proportions, is a hypothetical bridge that is so huge, in fact, that if it actually gets built, the size and scale of the project, which is projected to be about 20 miles long, would be comparable to the longest bridges in the world, such as the Danyang-Kunshan Grand Bridge in China, which is over 100 miles long. Yet, there's more to this dream than sheer length and size, for it's not just the terrestrial challenge that needs to be marveled at, it's also the audacity of the engineering that needs to be done for this bridge to come to life. In the depths of the Irish Sea, where the waters plunge to the depths of up to 300 meters, engineers are tasked with the impossible challenge of building the Irish Sea Bridge's pillars. In comparison, the pillars of bridges that are usually built over water go only as deep as 20 to 50 meters, which is 6 times the depth of what is needed for the Irish Sea Bridge. Not only is the Irish Sea Bridge an avenue to promote economic growth in the UK, but its very concept stands as a symbol of hope for the restoration and strengthening of the intricate and rather complicated history of disputes between Ireland and the United Kingdom. But even though the expected economic impact of this project is mostly positive for the country, the hurdles that the UK has to overcome and the amount of money that they have to invest for this project just might be a little too much for the construction of this bridge to be justified. A colossal bridge poised to redefine the problematic history between two nations. Is it worth it? Or is it a vision too wild to become a reality? Irish Sea Bridge is also known as the Celtic Crossing. Within this project, multiple routes have been considered, akin to a comprehensive evaluation of diverse pathways. These include the Kintyre route, the shortest route given that the distance between the 2 points is only 20 miles long, the Tuskar route, and the Irish Mail route, each meticulously evaluated. However, the dominant route under examination is the Galloway route, because out of all of the routes, it is the most feasible, both geologically and economically. It is said to be around the same distance as the Kintyre route, but what the Galloway route has over the Kintyre route is the much more favorable geological conditions surrounding it, and the fact that there are already existing infrastructures in the area that can serve as road networks and will make it easier to integrate the bridge into the existing transportation system and facilitating connectivity on both sides of the Irish Sea. When considering solely the geographical separation between these 2 points, the Irish Sea Bridge might appear as a manageable project spanning around 32 kilometers, or 20 miles. But as we delve deeper into the waters and environment of this region, specifically within the Irish Sea, it is evident that the construction of this project will be quite challenging. However, the driving force behind the development of the Irish Sea Bridge is rooted in a strategic plan to optimize domestic transportation networks by diminishing the reliance on air and rail connections between the kingdom and the island of Ireland. Many experts also envision the project as a catalyst for the United Kingdom to elevate its standing in the global trade arena. With regards to possible investments that will result from this project, former Prime Minister Boris Johnson believes that the construction of the bridge will reel in around 15 to 20 billion pounds in investment, which, in theory, sounds like a lot of money. But given that the estimated budget needed to complete this bridge based on the most recent feasibility research done, the project falls around 300 billion pounds. 15 to 20 billion pounds sounds like child's play. In addition to the financial considerations, there is a pivotal concern surrounding the capacity of Northern Ireland and Scotland to manage the anticipated surge in traffic and activity in the vicinity should the Irish Sea Bridge come to fruition. Not only will the UK government pump out around 300 billion pounds to construct the bridge itself, but they also have to have more money in hand for further investment in the enhancement of the road infrastructure in the surrounding areas. The Irish Sea Bridge has earned its reputation as one of the most audacious bridge projects ever conceived for many compelling reasons. Among these challenges, the environment takes center stage, presenting a complex set of issues both during and after the construction phase. Both Ireland and Scotland are renowned for their perpetually damp climates, where days of rain often outnumber those of sunshine. The relentless downpours pose a formidable challenge during and after the bridge's construction, raising questions about environmental impact and preservation. The Irish Sea itself is notorious for its turbulent waves and fierce winds, which have the potential to impede the construction process significantly. Because of these conditions, there may be periods when the bridge might be closed due to adverse weather conditions in Scotland and Northern Ireland. Another huge hurdle for this project is the depth of the Irish Sea, specifically the trench called Beaufort's Dyke. This bridge is expected to cross Beaufort's Dyke, which has a depth of around 300 meters. Aside from this, it also has an interesting and dangerous history that hinders the advancement of this project, because in the 1970s, millions of tons of obsolete chemical weapons and ammunition from World War II were dumped in the same area. Clearing out all of these munitions would not be an easy task. It would take a lot of time and would cost millions outside of the cost of constructing the bridge itself. This clearing operation is a necessary part of the process if the UK government doesn't want to risk the possibility of endangering the lives of innocent people. You need to be confident that the area in which you're about to place equipment or assets or people is sufficiently clear to allow the safe mooring or positioning of the vessels and everything else. What you don't want is to clear an area around the bridge only for it to, over time, have migrated munitions move up against the base of the bridge. David Welsh, the managing director of the Bombs and Explosives Unit of Remora UK, commented. Many politicians who favored Brexit also showed much support for this project, and the government of Scotland showed its full support as well. So much so that several regions, particularly those along Lorne's east coast, have fervently submitted proposals vying to establish their locales as potential bridge endpoint, because they believe that such a development will serve as a powerful tool for elevating tourism and stimulating the local economy. While the prevailing sentiment within the government exudes optimism, a select group of politicians remain staunchly critical of constructing the Irish Sea Bridge. Public officials like Simon Hoare and Stephen Aiken aren't too fond of the project. Former Prime Minister Boris Johnson's chief advisor, Dominic Cummings, has also expressed that Johnson's proposal doesn't even have a credible basis. Cummings said in an interview, "He didn't have a plan. He didn't have an agenda. You know, the Prime Minister's only agenda is to buy more trains, buy more buses, have more bikes, and build the world's most stupid tunnel to Ireland. That's it." Critics also showed disbelief over how Boris Johnson handled this project proposal. This is a gobsmacking sum to have spent on a PR stunt. It sounds like something that the Prime Minister came up with at 2 a.m. at a Downing Street party, the economy spokesman of the Scottish Liberal Democrats, Willie Rennie, commented. Another critic, Mary Black, pointed out that the money spent on the research done for this project could have funded more urgent and essential matters, such as healthcare, especially since this happened at the height of the pandemic. They said, "This just goes to show the Tories' warped spending priorities. How many lateral flow tests could this have bought, or nurses' salaries paid, or PPE purchased for those on the front line in this pandemic?" Most of the people of the UK also seem to be not in favor of this impossible project. Many deem the project impractical and would probably not generate that much of a return on investment. In various corners of the internet, some people have described the Irish Sea Bridge as straight up ridiculous. The current uncertain post-Brexit landscape, coupled with the looming potential for Scotland and Northern Ireland to part ways with the UK, amplifies the complexity of this situation. The prospect of investing billions in a project whose long-term benefits may not be experienced by the UK population and may not ultimately yield any significant benefits to the UK further intensifies skepticism surrounding the project. Furthermore, others have also argued that establishing ports in proximity to the proposed bridge location already offers efficient ferry services between Northern Ireland and Scotland. This raises legitimate questions about the necessity of such an expensive and tedious project, amplifying the ongoing debate about the project's true value and viability. With all the challenges that need to be addressed and the amount of money necessary for this project, the proposal to build the Irish Sea Bridge was rejected. The research concluded that the challenges outweigh all the positives of building the bridge. Although this proposal isn't practical for now, it might be revisited again and become possible in the future when we have better technology and infrastructure to overcome all of the hurdles that come with this project. But for now, the project proposal will be recorded and shelved as one of the most ambitious bridge proposals ever attempted. Would you support building the Irish Sea Bridge if it wasn't so expensive and tedious? Do you agree that the cons outweigh the pros? Do you also think constructing this bridge will be possible soon? Let me know your thoughts or opinions and join the conversation in the comments section below.